Hey Chris, are you gonna need wireless for anything? Alright, cool. I'll have it with me. Yeah. Need for anything.
If ever comes up, we have questions, we'll do it. All right.
Sounds good. Alright. Good to go when you guys are.
Okay. Yeah. 2 minutes and we'll kick this thing off.
Sounds great, man.
Make sure you. Oh, what's that?
I'm hitting record.
Alright, hit record. There we go. We can cut. Alright. So we'll go have you here. Alright. And then I'll go ahead and kick us off. Alright, we're not recording now. Alright, check 1, check 2. Yeah, so feel free to move the sound and all that stuff there like that as well. Stage remarks, and then I'm going to walk in, all right? Good morning and welcome to Freedom to Drive Virginia Beach, spotlighting how electric vehicles are delivering savings, innovation, and freedom of choice for American drivers. It is my pleasure to introduce my friend and the delegate from the 97th District, Michael Figgins.
Hey, good morning, y'all. I'm Delegate Michael Figgins, and I have the pleasure of representing House District 97 in Virginia Beach. Thank you for joining us here in Virginia Beach as we come together to support freedom to drive and, most importantly, the freedom to choose. For those that don't know me, I'm not just a legislator, I'm a gearhead. I've built and raced cars, tuned engines, and restored classics. I've spent time under the hood, getting my hands dirty to create speed, power, and precision. That's why I'm excited about the future of electric vehicles. EVs give us the chance to merge the craftsmanship of the past and the technology of the future, and the innovation, and that's innovation I can stand behind. I'm also a 20-year Air Force veteran who has served overseas. I know firsthand that national security risks are tied to our dependence to foreign oil. Every year, the United States spends billions of dollars of taxpayer money to protect oil infrastructure and transit routes overseas. This diverse resources from critical strategic priorities and puts American service members in harm's way. Our reliance on the volatile global markets makes us vulnerable to these actions, and that's why I'm here today. In 2022, gas prices rose 52% in 1 year, while electric prices only rose around 4%. This helped because electricity comes from a stable, diverse, and domestic energy portfolio. Transitioning to EVs helps our energy future and insulates us from foreign influence. The transportation sector accounts for 27% of energy use. Widespread adoption of EVs is not just an environmental decision, it's an economic and security imperative. It means more American jobs, greater energy independence, and real savings for drivers, with EV owners saving $20 to $30 per fill-up. And if we're serious about competing globally, We need to pay attention to the warning signs. The CEO of Ford said it best very recently. China's rapid progress on EVs is humbling. It's one of the most humbling things he's seen. If we don't accelerate our own development, we risk losing American jobs, innovation, and leadership. That's why I've been proud to support so many of our infrastructure supports, from expanding EV infrastructure to working with our power partners to expand EV adoption and charging. As a gearhead, as a veteran, and as a policymaker, I believe freedom to drive means freedom to choose. But to protect that freedom, we must lead, not follow. Let's build that future together, here in Virginia, here in America, and let's stay in the driver's seat. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Alleyn.
Thank you, Delegate Fagans, and thank you all for being here today, here in Virginia Beach. I'm Alleyn Harned. I'm with the statewide Clean Fuel Vehicle Coalition, Virginia Clean Cities, and I want to echo what has been said. Energy, economic, and environmental security are all enhanced by the advancement of these clean fuel vehicles and technologies. EVs are one key tool for this change ahead, and it's a critical tool in a commonwealth like Virginia, which uses about $50 million a day of oil and produces nearly no oil. We all deserve the freedom to breathe clean air, and electric vehicles do not produce tailpipe pollution that causes asthma attacks, heart attacks, cancer, as well as other environmental harms. The transportation sector is the leading sector for carbon pollution in the nation and in Virginia, and pollution from cars, trucks, and buses dirties our air. It threatens our health, and it can lead to increased respiratory diseases like asthma. In March 2022, the Lung Association released their Zeroing In on Clean Air report, which covered Virginia and talked about the opportunities of these technologies. It talked about a savings of $29.7 billion in health. It talked about the elimination of 2,700 premature deaths and reducing 70,900 asthma attacks, as well as 350,000 lost workdays, making it so that people can work because they're not taking care of themselves or a family member at the hospital due to an event that is caused by the air pollution from some of the vehicles that we drive. In Virginia, we are very proud that at the consumer level and at the fleet level that we've reached 100,000 electric vehicles operating in the Commonwealth. We have several here today, but we need to keep expanding those opportunities for consumers, for fleet operators, for municipalities, for businesses as they seek to improve their bottom lines for emissions and their bottom lines for technology opportunity. I am very blessed to have had a chance to drive an electric vehicle down today from Harrisonburg, Virginia. It was a great ride, charged along the way. We need to continue providing that kind of opportunity for state employees like me, for other team members to make such travels. I want to thank the team members in this area, the Drive Electric Tidewater team and the Drive Electric Virginia team throughout the nation, all of these, throughout the Commonwealth, all of these consumer clubs that are showcasing their vehicles, that are talking to their neighbors. I want to thank them for their good work. That is an effort of Virginia Clean Cities as well. And electric vehicles are an important part of our future and of our freedom. They power the next chapter in the American story, one built on innovation, on energy independence, on economic opportunity and freedom. We've seen bipartisan embrace and celebration of these technologies, celebrating the green jobs. With Volvo expanding, we need to return to Volvo expanding. With Microporous building a battery factory, a major economic development announcement, we need to return to having those economic development announcements fully successful. We want to fully realize those jobs and those opportunities to put Americans to work. There are over 240,000 jobs and 224 billion in economic investments created by American-made electric vehicles and batteries in the U.S. and in Virginia, with almost 100,000 clean energy jobs. 8,785 of those are associated with clean vehicle technologies. It's never too late to turn policy towards the good, by George W. Bush or George H.W. Bush. We can go back to the Energy Policy Act. These are things that have happened with Democrats and Republicans, and so I do want to recognize the opportunity for federal leadership, recognize the local legislator at the federal level for her work, being sure that in the Senate letter there was support for clean energy incentives, returning to those clean energy incentives in the years ahead at the federal level, working towards clean energy incentives at the state level will be very valuable. So state and federal policies are critical in this partnership for these clean fuels and technologies. Thank you for having me. I do want to recognize and pass it over to Eric Pinzone with Electrified Marina, and a good friend of mine. Eric.
Appreciate everybody's time. I'm a big fan of electric cars. I've been driving electric since 2013. I worked for Tesla for 9 years. I've owned a few dozen of them, and at one point had a dozen electric cars on Turo for a rental fleet. So you could say I've seen the good, bad, and the ugly for electric vehicles. One thing's for sure, over the last decade, I've seen a lot of people buying a second and a third electric car and telling their friends about it. It's addicting. And that's because they've had the opportunity to purchase these vehicles being available because of some incentives. I'm usually not the biggest fan of subsidies, but when it's helping get a new technology off the ground, there is a place for it. It's 2% of electric or vehicles on the road right now are electric, so they haven't even really had their chance yet. If we're considering removing all subsidies for electric cars, we should consider doing it for gas and oil as well, as we've been propping those industries up for a few decades here, worth of a few billion, if not $1 trillion, once you consider the health side effects of it. In terms of electric propulsion, it gives you the freedom to be energy agnostic, whether it's solar panels on your roof, plugging into the grid, getting nuclear, natural gas, or even coal. Either way, those are domestically sourced energy supply. It's not relying on foreign oil. Doesn't matter if it's Canada, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, or Iraq. Being able to source your energy here in the United States goes a long way. And I don't care if you're left or right or where you are politically, it's hard to argue that you'd want to source energy from outside of the country when we've got plenty of it available here. With China and Europe pulling ahead, whether it's in electric cars or boats, we're not going to get the chance to catch up if we pull away from incentives right now. Electric cars in China are dominating right now because of subsidies, because of the incentives, and to help kickstart that technology. They've already surpassed us in electric cars, and soon we might not have the